Hey, welcome back to the channel. All right, this was literally brought up last night on my Discord server, and I was like, that's a phenomenal idea. I cannot believe I didn't think to put up an updated best champions to Awaken and Sig up. Remember, if you're enjoying the content, hit like, hit subscribe, leave that comment. It's extremely helpful to me. I'm actually recording this pretty early on a Saturday morning. I want to get this out because I know a lot of us are coming into a lot of Six Stones. I also want to get you quickly back playing the game, right? In a video like this. What I want to say is if you're prioritizing prestige, man, like go check out, there's a variety of websites. Obviously, I like Conshoes. I'm a supporting member there, paid subscription, but then also there's MCoC.gg and then cockpit.org. I will do my best to list those in the description so you can go and check them out. And if you're about prestige, go ahead and rank for prestige. I'm not going to be considering that in this. Remember, also myself and the Illuminati do 3 actually monthly tier lists now. I've put out one of them this Saturday. The second one we put out literally tomorrow, this Sunday, based on the way you're playing the game. The one's a bit more PvP infused. The other one's a bit more weighted towards PvE content. We realize those are very different. And on there, we have the emojis for like Awaken, High Sig. So if I don't mention your champion here, you can go just download the spreadsheet. My ask is that you hit like and subscribe, leave a supportive comment on that. I get it. Not everyone wants to watch the video. That's fine. I get it. I really do. And then last, when you are analyzing which one to rank up and to put in your Six Stones, and your Awakening gem, one of the biggest pieces of advice is like, which crystal are they in? Are they in the basic crystal? Were they in like a rare sale, like a Nick Fury or a Future Ant-Man or something like that? Are they in the Titan? Basically, are you about to potentially pull them from a crystal? We all know how that works. As soon as you put in the Six Stones, as soon as you put in the Awakening gem, you're going to pull them. It's almost guaranteed by MCoC, all right? So keep that stuff in mind. I'm going to show a champion, and then I'm just going to quickly mention them because, again, I want to get you in playing the game here, especially on a video like this. We're going to start off in the Mystic class, and we are starting off with none other than Nico Minoru. We'll use her as a talking point here for this. Just got to find Nico, man. She got to do more to stand out. That gal's not doing enough to stand out. All right, so essentially with her, right, I think she's very good unawakened. I think she's very, very, very good. Excellent at that initial one. And then with a champion like her, she's got multiple parts. This is something to kind of look for when you're thinking about who to awaken, who to put Six Stones in. She has multiple parts that are going to benefit exactly what you're literally trying to do in the fight you're using her. She's going to get more damage. The opponent's during the opponent's personal effects on the opponent are paused during Nico's specials. That's a really big deal because she's placing the buff immunity. And then when Nico causes an attack to miss, which is a big part of her loop off of her SB1, she's going to gain this adrenaline, which is part of how I've shown her like literally healing up over the course of a fight. Like, it's great. She's amazing. I think you, again, good unawakened, great awakened, ridiculous at Sig 200. Okay, so that's why you've seen me put Six Stones under. The champions I'm going to quickly mention are Absorbing Man, super high Sig, really helpful. Pavita Pavarkar. Right now, the idea is you just need him awakened Sig 1. However, I've put a bunch of stones into mine. You got that energy vulnerability sticking with you. He's a little new for me to say, like, guys, take him to Sig 200. But I think definitely Sig 1. It opens up some of his kit. Really helpful on the fight you want to take him into. So Sig 1. But this, if I updated this in 2 months, there's a chance I'm saying, like, Sig 200, that guy. I'm doing it myself, so keep that for what it's worth. Kushala, getting those pauses, really, really helpful. I played her unawakened for a long time, though. Felt great about her. Tigra, Sig 200. The Hood. If you're a big Hood player, I've put Sig Stones into mine. It does make a massive difference to get him at a high Sig. That power steal, there's so many hits in that SB2 that you're stealing a lot. It doesn't seem like 25% to 45% power steal would be that big of a deal. It is. I've experienced it myself, okay? And then Purgatory. Sig 1, plenty. If you want to Sig her up, go for it. But I even selected, I had a ridiculous open on my Vega Prime account, my free-to-play account, and I chose to select her. I could have selected I could have selected Future Ant-Man, Nick Fury, but she's so good, guys. I'm going to continue to try to talk to you about that over the course of 2026 in the beginning stages. Sig 1, because it helps you capture the souls more easily. There's other champions in the Mystic class that are worthy, but these are the ones that stood out to me to give advice. Go check out the spreadsheets for myself and the Illuminati. All right, let's move on to science. Science class, we're going to start off the one we're going to show, Spider-Woman. Now, this is another good example. That's why I'm using them as examples. So you can go and kind of look at these things for yourself too. Look at all this. All this stuff is benefiting you in her generic plays, but also where you're wanting to use her. When a personal fury buff is consumed or nullified, up to 100% chance to gain an identical fury passive. The total amount of this personal cannot exceed 20. Okay, that's fine. The whole 20, whatever. That's cool. I love that's in there. That's good. It's fine. They got to have limits on this stuff. Even Spider-Woman has limits. But when you're removing the fury buffs and they're like, don't worry about it. You're just going to get a passive one. You're good. That's the kind of stuff you're looking for. That's part of how she does the massive damage. The intercepting the opponent has a chance to gain a fury buff, meaning if you're playing her really well, if you're intercepting, if you're having a great time, you're like Cantona, you're Grass, you're like that level of skill, you're going to get your fury buffs even faster, okay? And then the wall dodging back during the thing, blah, 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 has a chance to evade. This is really, really helpful, but it's the other two that I like even more. Sig 200 this gal, Awaken this gal, you're going to notice big damage increases. And she's not all about the damage. It's just one of the many amazing things that she does. As far as the champions, we're going to quickly mention Photon. If you're not a big Battlegrounds player, Sig 1's fine. It gives her a neutralized immunity. Really nice. I love it. Scorpion. You're into BGs, you're into PvP, Sig 200, that guy. Sig 1 is going to give you the steadfast, I believe, when you have your taunt up. So it's going to help you block unblockables. Really nice. But if you want to heal up in PvP or you're using him for healing fights in PvE modes, Sig 200, that guy, okay? He's a phenomenal champion. Count Nefaria. Great example of you can play him unawakened, totally good. The higher the Sig gets, the better. If you're using him in PvP modes, you're going to even want him at Sig 200. It's what's going to allow him to get into his Ionic Overdrive just from triggering Mystic Dispersion on the opponents. You're often taking him against Mystic opponents. Going to be really helpful to him. Does he need any of it? No, does not. Red Guardian, dude. I'm so glad much of the community is catching on to Red Guardian. I know that not a lot of people had the 7-star. I took mine to rank 4. I was like, y'all got to see this. I've taken him recently to Sig 160 because his Sig goes up in levels of 40. He has one of those unique ones where you get benefits at different milestones. Dude, he's critting like a... I almost made a joke that wasn't appropriate for Saturday mornings, but he's critting like crazy, dude, doing insane damage. I love the community's catching on to this. I realize not a lot of folks had him, so it's kind of hard to catch on to something when you don't have it. But yeah, he's great. If you've got a 7-star Red Guardian, if I got a rank 5 science gem, he's the guy I'm taking up because he's just so much fun to play. But then everyone banned him, so I'd have to think about that. Luke Cage, just Sig 1 is good. The initial more awakened ability is fine, but I wouldn't put stones in. Just get that indestructible. Really helps him play more aggressively. Silk, low Sig is fine. She's very good. But Sig 1 is fine. Spider-Punk. You're going to have to go and look at Spider-Punk. He doesn't need to be Sig 200 anymore, but if you're a big Spider-Punk fan like I am, and you're looking to rank him up, that's another key. If you're looking to rank him up, because we're getting a little farther down on the tier list now, Sig, like, I think it's around 100. You want like that 75% chance. Go and look at his signature ability. You get that 75% chance to get more of, I can't remember what he calls them, but his thing that's giving you more of the ruptures on the opponent. Really helpful. Anti-Venom, Void. There's a lot of arguments on like how you're using Void. Some people want them Sig 200. Some people want them at 1. If you're a massive Void player, you probably want Sig 200. Okay. The Overseer. For me, again, this is very similar. Remember, we're working our way down the tier list now as far as like my saying, hey, use your precious resources on these champions. Make sure you really like them. The Overseer, Sig 1 is great. Helps him power up. Sig 200's even better, okay? Cap Infinity War, channel member O's fan. I always love to shout that guy out. He's a great member of my alliance too. Been with me through thick and thin over the years. Cap Infinity War, a beast of a champion, particularly in the PvE content where you can take in those synergies, get him Awakened, get him Sig 200, have a phenomenal time. All right, let's go and move on to the skill class. Moving on to skill, I think it makes sense to start off with Kingpin. A lot of people are going to be really excited about him, right? Of course, he's going to be in the milestones and that sort of stuff. So Fisk is going to bring his ill intent upon the contest and then fight with 2 to 4 rage. Remember, that's giving him a lot of benefit. You want those rage debuffs. You want them. It's kind of a unique champion, right? So you want those. Starting the fight with that helps him get into his ramp, the massive damage even faster. Then, when Kingpin's overpower buff ends, he has a chance to gain up to 5 rages with each having you see this, okay, obviously you all can read. The high Sig, look at this, is phenomenal on him. If you're selecting Kingpin and you've got like the Sig stones to go in with it and those sorts of things, he is a great option because what you're using him to do is shrug this stuff off, turn it into rage, turn it into overpower, do massive damage, beat down the opponent. And then this is similar to like Spider Ham, let's call it, where Spider Ham's stings fall off, but if you've kept your nonsense high, you get more of them. Very similar with Kingpin, except he just does it for you, and he does it for you as far as like keeping the damage going with his signature ability. So if overpower, you don't finish the fight, which isn't uncommon, then you're going to get your rages back essentially at a 90% clip. That's pretty darn good. So this is really fitting like what you're using him for. He's a phenomenal investment. In my opinion, for Sig Stones on the PV and PvP side, right? And then moving through the skill class, Okoye, in my opinion, Sig 1 is plenty. The higher Sig is great, but I don't think you're going to want to put Sig Stones into her. Yes, even for Battlegrounds. If you're a super high tier Battlegrounds player, then yeah, maybe go for it. But I'd get to those high tiers and then use those precious Sig Stones first. Kate Bishop, I am mentioning the 6-star champions, phenomenal. Awaken or Sig 200, go have a good time, beat up Necropolis, have a phenomenal time. She's a ridiculous champion. Crossbones, yes, you can do great things with Crossbones unawakened. You can do great things with Crossbones of Sig 1, 11, 12, 6, 7, 9, 32, 200. Have a good time. It just ups his ability to purify the debuffs. But if you're playing Crossbones really, really well, you're just going to eventually turn off the thing that's putting the debuffs on you. But hey, getting more Furies from the Purify early on, I get it. I'm going to take my Crossbones to an even higher Sig. You're going to see that from me in the coming days here. Nip Fury, that's what gives him the second life. If you're using him for attack or defensive, it also prevents his second life from moving down faster. He's also very, very rare, right? Very rare, not in the basic crystal. So I think he is incredibly worthy. Yelena at Sig 1 gives her the ability to anti-miss, anti-evade. Stealthy, I think that's a great champ. Remember, if you've been following along, you've been following my videos the last few months, you know we're all about to get him for free. If you've been doing that, you've been jumping through the hoops, playing the game, getting your mini crystals, opening them up. He is a great investment. He's a really good champion. I think he's going to make a dent in the contest in just a few, I think it's just a few days now away. I think I'm still a few milestones away. But I think you're going to start seeing rank 4 Awakens, and man, especially because he's going to pop off in Battlegrounds, you're going to see some stealthy content. And so I think his is the precision, right? And you're going to get that. Valkyrie, if you're using her for her grit, you're going to want to get Sig 200 on her. Mr. Knight, now remember, we're moving down the tier list as we go here. Mr. Knight, I love him. You're seeing me continue to open Titans, even though I think it's smarter to hoard. For Mr. Knight, I'm going to want him Awaken. I'm going to want him at high Sig. With him, make sure you like him before you do that. Black Panther Civil War, if you're a Battlegrounds player, get him, awaken him, Sig 200. He's going to just do things for you. Better defender, but also gets into his ramp significantly faster. Make sure you like him. He has a unique playstyle, but that unique playstyle allows him to get around a lot of threats, even taking like some mutant champions, kind of some cross class stuff there. He does have a cash out though, so I don't think he's the best in PvE. You'll see that on the 2 different tier lists myself and the Illuminati have coming out this week. But I do want to call him out because he is a great investment as far as Awakening Gem and Sig Stones if you like him and if you want to use him in PvP. He doesn't make everyone's debt, keep that in mind, but he can be a great option. Let's move on to Mutant. In the Mutant class, we are going to showcase Jean Grey. You know I love Jean Grey. She's she has become my favorite mutant to play. I had a little debate between her and Weapon X. Had to shout out Weapon X. I'm loyal. I'm a loyal guy, okay? He's been amazing for me for years. But Jean is the new hotness. This is, again, what we're looking for. When I'm looking for, do I want to wake him? Do I want to, like, there's a reason why I'm calling these champs out, right? You're taking her in for these fights. It's going to help her out. The force field is huge for her. Jean's all about that force field. You want to keep it. Using the parry mastery, instead inflicts a 1.5 second stun. You lose that ability, your ability to take a lot of these skill champions plummets, right? Skill champions cannot reduce the ability accuracy of the stun. There it is. And then increase the control over her mutation, allows Jean to retain 1 uncanny passive after a special 1 attack. This is helping you out tremendously with her SP1 into SP2 loop, keeping, you guys know how she works. Increasing the duration of personal neuroshocks. You want those neuroshocks, you want them lasting as long as possible. She's still in the Titan, so maybe don't take her all the way to Sig 200 if you're opening Titans. She's going to be there, I think, for another turnover as well. That being said, if you love Jean like I love Jean, she is a phenomenal investment for Awakening Gems and Sig Stones. Just remember, she's going to be in the Titan for a bit. The champions that we will call out Onslaught, Mr. Sinister. Sinister's great unawakened, but man, is he really, especially if you're using him over the course of a quest, better defender, better battlegrounds attacker if RNG goes your way as you get him to Sig 200. Archangel, get him awakened. Sig 1's fine. Simulate's done a lot of videos on this. I also loved him at Sig 131, I believe it was, if I remember correctly. Just a beast of a champion. Dazzler's not being used as much as I thought she was going to be, but that pursuit is phenomenal, getting her at the high Sig. And her Sig 1 is really good as well, too. So look at her and make sure if you're going to awaken her or take her to high Sig, make sure it's fitting the way you're wanting to use her. I will be honest, I am not good enough at the game to utilize her pursuit well. So putting 6 stones into her was like not a mistake for me because I've moved on. It's been okay. But if I could get them back, I probably would, just because I'm not good enough to utilize her pursuit. You might be. So go ahead and consider that. Kitty Pryde, another champion that's locked out of 7 stars. Deadpool X-Force. You can do great stuff with him unawakened, okay? If you want to use him as a Nick Fury counter, though, you want him awakened. 2 different sources that I trust tremendously have given different answers on the Sig you want, okay? And so I'm not even going to say their names because I trust them both tremendously. They're both amazing players. One has said that Sig 80 is fine. One has said Sig was 160. I don't know, and I'm sorry, okay? But if you want to use him as a Nick Fury counter, you do want the Sig. You want it going up. If you don't want him for Nick Fury, you don't even need him awakened. He's ridiculous, okay? Captain Britain, especially if you're using her defensively, you want the escalating Sig. Gentle, a great champion, okay? Adamantium's shown that. You guys know Adamantium's channel, or you should, okay? One of the spreadsheet wizards has shown him Sig 200 is phenomenal. Also, little tip from Adamantium, put the Gambit Relic on. Look at it. It's great. He's awesome. Gentle's a very, very good champion. Cassandra Nova, you want her at Sig 200. It's going to be extremely helpful for her damage. I wrote down Nomar Garcia Parra, apparently, the old, what was he, the second baseman, the shortstop for the Red Sox? No, it's actually Namor. Namor is the one that you want if you enjoy a good Namor, right? Sig 200 is the way to go. And then Silver Samurai, that initial awakening is what's going to help him get into his ramp a lot faster in Battlegrounds. I wanted to shout him out. But again, remember, go check out the tier list. If I didn't mention your champion, go ahead and check out the tier list. You'll see our emojis, the whole thing. It's great. All right, now we will move on to the tech class. The champion I'm going to show is Bastion, my boy Bastion. Now, Trap put out a video today, and Bastion's on the thumbnail of the most overrated champion. I'm gonna have a strongly worded email to Trap. Okay, I like Trap. He likes me. We're friends, but I don't even know anymore. That being said, Bastion, again, it's almost like I planned it. These 3 bullet points, and they all are extremely helpful, okay? Bastion's offensive ability, accuracy, and defensive ability, accuracy reduction is expanded to affect non-personal effects. A lot of words. I think that's one of the things with Bastion, okay? A lot of words, a lot of moving parts. They did a good job of making him not broken, busted OP, but being phenomenal in this game. What this is going to do is help you. You've seen me use him on hazard shift lanes and nodes. This is why, because of that initial awakening point, but also it's going to help you on. I've used it for it was the new EQ, I think, the Valiant mode. This shows up. This is in abilities. This is in nodes. It's not just for war, okay? But wait, there's more. Against Mutant, whenever the opponent gains a regen or prowess effect, all of Bastion's personal abilities are paused for up to 1.2 seconds. This is extremely helpful for a lot of the matchups you want to use him in. He is great against non-mutants, but man, the dude really goes even harder against the mutants. This is really, really helpful, okay? And then this last one. This is why you've seen me be able to use him as a semi-nuke. I'm not going to claim full nuke, but semi-nuke in battlegrounds fights, war fights. It's this. It's getting that escalating Sig. Remember, if you're playing him well, you get 2 Furies from the SP2. 2 of them. And they both benefit from this, all right? That's a big deal. That's why you're seeing me in fights in SP2 to a single SP1. Sometimes I have to throw the second SP1, sometimes. But Jean Grey's, like fights where you're like, I want to get it and get out. She's putting reverse controls on, all this stuff. This is incredibly, incredibly helpful. All jokes aside about Trap, I love Trap. He's playing in a different tier of Battlegrounds than I am, right? And so I understand that your super high tier Battlegrounds players, Bastion might not be fast enough. I get it. Me, Mysterium, Quantum, Arcane, Vega, He is phenomenal. So keep that in mind. Now, as far as the champions to shout out, Stark Spider-Man, you do want that Sig going. It just helps him out with his nukiness so much. Future Ant-Man, especially if you want to use him as a dual threat in Battlegrounds, helps him take a lot of hazard shift fights as well, too. Ghost, get her Awaken, high Sig, 200. Just stand there, let the opponent hit it into you. You're going to gain power. It's a beautiful thing. Sentinel, Sig 1 is fine. Ironheart, if you're a PvE player, get her Awakened. I would suggest letting the Sig build on its own, unless you just love playing her. It helps her damage so much. I love Ironheart. Prowler, if you like Prowler and you can play him well, Sig 200, that guy. It's going to help you out so much with the damage, but make sure you like him first. The problem is it's hard to like him first because his damage does suffer. But if you like what you see, he's a great champion. Take him to Sig 200. He hits so much harder. Guardian, you've seen me with Guardian. It helps him with so many fights, the energy resistance. I can't remember if it's the armor or the block proficiency. He's a great candidate for it. So versatile. Red Skull, Sig 1's fine. Jack-o'-lantern, I think just the initial awakening, he's one of those ones where like 640, 660, 680, I think is a really nice sweet spot. It's very helpful to him. Such a great champion. The Maker, so new. Initial awakening is a big deal. I think you want him with the higher Sig, but he's just so new that it's hard for me to say, hey, take him to Sig 200, guys. So I want to be clear, I'm not saying that right now. Zola, initial awakening, especially if you want to use him as a dual threat. Nimrod, Sig 200. Anytime you're seeing plus potency and duration, my God, there's a reason why you don't see that in the game anymore. They did that once with Nimrod, and I think they're like, we will never do that again. Yondu, initial awakening is great. Shocker, escalating Sig is huge because that's what allows you to throw a special one and have it cost almost no power at all. Viv Vision, Sig 200. Shuri, initial awakening is fine. So what allows her to block the unblockables, I believe. And Punisher 2099, the awakening is good. It allows you to get into his like power control a little bit faster. All right, let's move on to Cosmic. I got to switch my notes here. All right, again, I'm showing the champion that's involved in the banquet because I know it's a hot topic right now and I want people to have this education on these things. Again, look, multiple bullet points, all doing the thing that you're using them for. Again, I really want to emphasize that so you guys can take this and you can be like, oh, cool, this is what Vega's talking about. Now I understand. Now I know. This is good. Personal bulwark, that's not nothing. All right, that's not nothing. But remember, his buffs are really helpful to him. So any buff getting better is good, right? Especially if it's the duration. Yeah, it is. Then this is the one that when I was testing the CCP, I was like, I want him Sig 200. It's these Furies. I understand that 3 seconds does not sound like a lot. In this game, it kind of actually is. Additionally, you're often using him for the SB2, unblockable into the SB2. You are unblockable. You use your striker. They are unblockable. They go in. Then there's the striker stun. You go in and just finish off the opponent. You are often doing that with him. Battlegrounds, war, whatever. Okay. So 3 seconds is a big deal for this champion. And then additionally, this armor pen, when he came into the game, I don't think any of us really understood. I mean, I'm sure the designer understood how helpful that was into hitting into a champion and doing extra damage. That is helpful too. The Fury buff's the big one for me, but the armor penetration is really nice too. Okay. And then of course the Pierce buff is helpful for like future Ant-Mans. Call that out. And then to just quickly get through this, Deathless Thanos, get him to Sig 200. If you've done the quest, you've got the 6 stones, so take him to Sig 200. Hercules, come on. You guys don't need me to tell you that. Serpent, again, Sig 200 helps him defensively and offensively. It's a beast of a champion. Cold Obsidian, I said, look, take him to Sig 200. And the reason is because if you don't finish off the Battlegrounds fight or the war fight or whatever in your route buff, you're going to want that. You're going to want the Sig. It's been really helpful. It's part of why I've been able to show you a lot of the fights I have since he came to the game. Carolina Dean, really great damage increase. And then also, I believe that's what gives her the pulverize to get the armor ups off. CGR, Sig 1 is fine. But again, beast of a champion. Vox, Sig 1 is fine. It's what's going to help you with the pause of hitting into the opponent's, I think, block with his there's a lot of moving parts with Vox, but it's really helpful because of the shield. The pause, I mean, Null helps you get into the ramp significantly better. He's a champion where if you love him, Sig 200 makes a lot of sense. Medusa, Sig 1 is all you need. It's what gives you that her true accuracy, I believe. Now, the escalating Sig is helpful if you want her to be a better dual threat, or if you want more basically insurance for your own mistakes for the auto block to kick in. So she's great. Angela, Sig 200 to get the I don't remember if she calls it purify or what, but to get the buffs off you. Hyperion, Sig 1, do not put 6 stones into Hyperion, people. Do not do it. you will be very disappointed. But Sig 1, the beauty is, all that guy needs. I hope this was incredibly helpful. By the time you've made it to this, you'll know there's timestamps in the description. Thank you so much for watching. Take care.